Namaste friends, welcome to another episode of Nagpur Narratives. Today we are going to discuss the losses suffered by Hindutva project due to breakup between BJP and Shiv Sena. And of course I am going to discuss the role played in this breakup by Sharad Pawar, Uddhav Thackeray and of course BJP, and I will be discussing the emergence of MNS, Raj Thakray's party, or has it really emerged? I mean, I doubt that has MNS emerged or not. So I remember clearly that Sharad Pawar on many social occasions, maybe just out of jest or to poke Balasaheb Thackeray, used to say that Balasaheb Thackeray, who is his fierce political opponent, is also his good friend. To which Balasaheb also used to respond at times by saying, yes, that Sharad Pawar is my friend. And as if to prove this point, Sharad Pawar married his only daughter Supriya to Balasaheb Thackeray's nephew Sadanand Sule in March 1991. But I am sure the social churn and political upheaval which happened in the country after that must have tasted their friendship bitterly. In December 1992, Karsevaks brought the structure standing atop Ram Janmabhoomi down, and it changed the political landscape of the country forever. But it also had some unintended consequences. This demolition sparked riots in Mumbai, which started in December 1992 and lasted well into January 1993. These Hindu-Muslim riots killed more than 900 people. And can you guess who was leading the charge against religious radicals in Mumbai? It was Sharad Pawar's frenemy Balasaheb Thackeray and his Shiv Sena. This riot sparked by the demolition were kind of a godsend which Shiv Sena was waiting for. It was more than eager to prove its Hindutva credentials. And not only did it pass the test well, but it came out with flying colors. It poured thousands of volunteers onto the streets of suburbs of Mumbai and protected Hindus against raging radical religious mobs, leading to a string of riots. Had it not been for Shiv Sena and Balasaheb, these riots would have killed thousands of Hindus. Instead, it ended on an even keel. Congress party decided to replace the then Chief Minister Sudhakar Naik, who had clearly failed to control the situation. And the most experienced hand, Sharad Pawar, also known as Maratha strongman, was called back. Pawar on 6th of March 1993 took over Maharashtra CM again for the fourth time. And within 6 days, Mumbai was rocked by a series of bomb blasts. 12 bomb blasts ripped through suburbs of Mumbai, killing more than 250 people and maiming hundreds more. Dawood Ibrahim, hand in glove with local sleeper cells, detonated bombs at 12 different locations. And as if this brutal religious attack was not bad enough, Sharad Pawar lied on camera saying that another bomb blast, 13th bomb blast, which never happened, took place in Masjid Bandar. Later, he admitted that he did this to save Muslims from the wrath of Hindus. Please take note, friends, that even in this crisis of extreme crisis, I would say, Sharad Pawar didn't budge from playing to his gallery. I believe these three incidents in quick succession, December 1992 demolition, the riots after that, and the bomb blast in March 1993, not only changed the political landscape of politics in India, but it also altered the Maharashtra politics this time. Till then, Congress, by projecting Sharad Pawar as the Maratha strongman and rightful heir to the legacy of Shivaji Maharaj, was able to garner a lot of Hindu votes. This episode and these three episodes and Sharad Pawar's lying on the camera to save Muslims completely exposed the Maharashtra Congress this time. And people perhaps came to the conclusion that Sharad Pawar is as communal as Gandhi's and as anti-Hindu as other Congress leadership. To me, this was a big political shift in Maharashtra politics. A strong Hindutva opposition in form of BJP and Shiv Sena had emerged. And sure enough, it did beat NCP and Congress in assembly elections which happened in 1995. Sharad Pawar's friend Balasaheb Thackeray had made him pay for his secular sins. The Goari Hatyakand, a small riot which killed close to 100 Goaris in Nagpur, must have surely played a part in this Sharad Pawar's defeat. But the Hindu vote consolidation had begun. 5 years later, Pawar's NCP in alliance with Congress made a comeback, but with fewer seats. The Hindu vote consolidation, which began in the 90s and had given BJP Sena a win in 1995 state elections, was here to stay. And though the Congress NCP alliance ruled Maharashtra for next 15 years, the domination of 70s and 80s was over. And came the Modi era. Since 2014, in 4 major elections, I am not counting any municipal or those type of local elections, in 4 major elections, 2 assembly and 2 Lok Sabha general elections, BJP has emerged the single largest party. Of course, in Lok Sabha elections, it had swept Maharashtra. It has won more than 40 seats out of 48. The Hindu vote consolidation, which began in 1990s, has delivered for BJP and Shiv Sena in 2014 and 2019. And it has devastated NCP and Congress. But even amongst the Hindu parties, it is BJP who's cornering the maximum gains. And this has been making Shiv Sena chief Uddhav Thackeray, Balasaheb's son Uddhav Thackeray, it has been making him jittery. And hence, he broke this alliance. He was waiting for an opportunity. He got that opportunity after the elections, after the assembly elections in 2019. And that's when he stabbed the BJP in back and broke the alliance. Broke the 30-year-old alliance with BJP and joined hands with NCP and Congress to form Maha Vikas Aghadi and grab the chief minister's chair. I thought this was the moment when Sharad Pawar had avenged his defeat at the hands of Balasaheb Thackeray. By pursuing aggressive politics in the 90s, Balasaheb Thackeray had taken major Hindu vote, and I mean in that there is some Maratha and Kunbi vote also. Of course, that is a topic for some other day. But please understand, there was a lot of Maratha vote which Balasaheb Thackeray and BJP was able to take away from Sharad Pawar and Congress. I mean, in those days there was no NCP; it was Congress only. So Balasaheb Thackeray, by pursuing aggressive politics, was able to defeat Sharad Pawar in Maharashtra in 1990s, in 1995. Sharad Pawar in 2019, by luring his son out of the alliance, had taken power out of the political formation of Hindutva. Because of this betrayal by Shiv Sena, BJP lost its legitimate claim to power, which I think is temporary and for BJP to worry about. But the loss to the Hindutva project is massive. Shiv Sena, by allying with BJP, played a very important role in creating a Hindutva political force in Maharashtra. But more importantly, by doing that, it gave the much needed teeth and street power to Hindus. The 1993 riots being a case in point. Sharad Pawar, by snatching Shiv Sena from BJP's arms, has taken away that sword arm of Hindus. After joining Maha Vikas Aghadi, Shiv Sena has turned more and more anti-Hindu with every passing day. For example, You can take the riots which happened only a month back in Nanded, Akola, Amravati, and few other places. In its earlier avatar, I mean, when Shiv Sena was not anti-Hindu and had allied with BJP in his earlier avatar, Shiv Sena's volunteers would have jumped onto the streets and protected Hindus. But this time nothing of that sort happened. Then again, another riot broke out in Umarkhed, a small town close to Yavatmal. Yavatmal is a city which is 150 kilometers away from Nagpur. Again, this time the pretext being an irreverent Facebook post against the Prophet. And again, there was no response. Vandals, religious radicals, and vandals were allowed a free run. Earlier, when again I mentioned this, made this point again, but I am making it again to reiterate. In its earlier avatar, Shiv Sena would have jumped onto the streets. This volunteer would have jumped onto the streets. This time, there was no response. Instead, the Raza Academy vandals were allowed a free run. And I must mention this, these Raza Academy vandals did target the police force also. Now, this is the oldest political socio-religious horror movie which is running to packed houses, the houses packed by religious radicals, and which is running for last 100 years with poor Hindus selling samosas and chai outside the same theater. I am not sure for how many years more, how many decades more Hindus want to watch this horror movie. Now, if you think I am exaggerating, please Google for history of riots in India. Starting with, it will even go back there then, but I am starting with 1921 because then it is 100 years. And as I said, this is a horror movie running for last 100 years now. So starting with Mopla riots, which happened in 1921, where hundreds of Nair families were massacred brutally, to Yavatmal riots, Umarkhed riots, which happened yesterday. You will find examples after examples, hundreds of examples where Hindus were massacred systematically and police were watching helplessly. So hardly any doubt that Shiv Sena defecting to another side is a great loss to Hindus. But Hindus in their 20s and 30s, younger ones who may have no living memory of the 1990 Kashmiri Hindu exodus or 1993 bomb blast, may not agree to this gloom and doom scenario painted by me. And I see they offering me two counters. Number one, that the Hindu political and non-political outfits, by political I mean BJP and RSS, or you can call them cultural outfit also, and non-political outfits such as VHP to name one, have only become stronger, and it will act against these rioting elements. And the number two counter, that MNS, Maharashtra Navnirman Sena, is emerging in Maharashtra. So my counter to your counter, that BJP and RSS has emerged stronger in these last 20 years and may act as a counter to these religious radicals, is that BJP RSS was never a street power party, and hence it cannot replace Shiv Sena. Our Marathi celebrated journalist Bhau Torsekar has so beautifully put it in Marathi. He says there is a Marathi word by the name of Rada, and I simply cannot translate that. I can make an effort to I translate it into street power, but street power just cannot, as BJP cannot replace Shiv Sena as a street party. The word street power cannot be translated. It cannot translate the emotions which come through when you say Rada. So Bhau Torsekar famously once said that Shiv Sena's specialization is not Hindutva, it's Rada. And I fully agree with him. So the point remains that Shiv Sena, BJP cannot replace Shiv Sena. It can never become a Rada party, a street power party. Now the second counter to my gloom and doom, which I see coming, is that MNS is emerging in Maharashtra. Now my question to that again is, really think hard and tell me, where do you see MNS emerging? It is more of a wishful statement than any factual assessment. I am making this statement when I am aware that Raj Thackeray had issued a warning after Amravati Malegaon Nanded riots that if another riot breaks out in Maharashtra, MNS will not sit quietly and it will hit back. But then he got an opportunity within 4 days of this issuing this warning. There was another riot-like situation in Umarkhed, but there was no response, not even from MNS. Frankly, friends, I am not impressed with Raj Thackeray. He seems to be making a great TV star, but there is no action on ground. I will tell you why. I've been following. He's one of my favorite politicians, but then he has disappointed. I've been following him for last many almost a decade. On 23rd Jan 2020, Balasaheb Thackeray's 93rd birth anniversary, Raj Thackeray made a major shift and changed his flag. From a multicolored one with railway engine, he went straight for a Bhagwa, a saffron flag with Shivaji Maharaj Raj Mudra inscribed on it. In another month or so, we will be celebrating Balasaheb Thackeray's 95th birth anniversary. And even today, Raj is struggling to find the direction for his party. In my piece written for Op India, exactly 2 years back, it was published on 3rd February 2020, I had observed that Maharashtra BJP needs to be cautious when dealing with Raj Thackeray. And I am happy that Maharashtra BJP had learned from its bad experience with Uddhav Thackeray and hasn't provided any platform to Raj Thackeray till now. Now, if MNS is serious about replacing Shiv Sena, there could not have been a better opportunity, a better situation than Amravati or the riots which happened in Umarkhed after that. But Raj Thackeray flunked. He had failed miserably to cash on this opportunity. Here you might think that I am giving a free pass to BJP RSS, which I am not. I seriously think BJP, even after 7 years in power and RSS almost 100 years after its inception, hasn't been able to create a mechanism to counter these kind of riots. But then that's a topic for another day. And so after BJP's 7 years in power, here we are in Maharashtra. The only combative Hindu political party, thanks to Sharad Pawar and the power greedy dynast of the Thackeray clan, has turned against Hindus, and his younger siblings' outfit is nowhere on the scene. Frankly, friends, I don't think we are any better off compared to 1921 Mopla riots or 1946 Direct Action Day. I hope my pessimism is proved wrong. Namaste. That's it for me.